Despite the veer of progressivism that Canada likes to give the rest of the world and makes us feel good, makes us feel superior to our neighbors to the south, which really isn't saying very much, we are still a colonial settler empire. We're a junior partner of imperialism. We're not the primary imperialist power. We leave that to the United States because they have the manpower to do it. But we are certainly beneficiaries, and we certainly join in on it, and we certainly support it. Take this as an example. First Nations communities. The Southern Chiefs Organization, the Grand Chief Jerry Daniels, wrote a letter to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Now, he represents 34 Anishinaabe and Dakota communities in Manitoba. They were recently in Cuba, and they said, we are severely underserviced in First Nations communities. Can Cuba send some doctors and send some supplies to help us out? The first world country needs it. So they said, okay, out of solidarity and a genuine not wanting people to die of corona, we'll send you help. The Deputy Prime Minister, Chrystia Freeland, appeared and rejected it. And she decided, no, the Cuban doctors are not allowed to come to Canada and give free medical services to people who need it because they are being underserved by Canada. And this is certainly a part of Canada's history of underserving and marginalizing the First Nations community. I don't think any person with an ounce of honesty in them whatsoever would deny that. That certainly is an ongoing problem. But Canada said, no, you're not allowed to. Why? Because it would be embarrassing to have a third world country help you because of the way you ignore your own population's needs. But let's look at what Chrystia Freeland has also done. She stands in total solidarity with the Banderite neo-Nazis running Ukraine. And you're not going to cry and say, no, they're not neo-Nazis. They literally are Banderites, Stefan Bandera. Google the name if you're not sure who that is. They literally stand by the model Slava Ukrainia. They literally stand in white supremacist militias. I mean, this has been acknowledged over and over and over again. But they are the best friends the BFFs to the United States and Canada, the UK, etc. While the separatists, the socialists, are friends of Russia. So this whole idea of how we defeated the Nazis all by ourselves, Russia didn't do anything, kind of Western mentality, seems perfectly allied with the Nazis in this case and willing to help them prop up their government, give them a legitimacy they certainly do not deserve, and send them aid. So let's get this straight, Chrystia Freeland. Cuban doctors coming into Canada to serve people who don't have health care, bad. Sending weapons and money to neo-Nazis to kill people, good. And that's essentially Canada's foreign policy in a nutshell. No, Cuba bad, Nazi good. People who help people bad, people who kill people out of a perceived superiority to them, good. Because they're allies. And it's about time that got called out. Now, Chrystia Freeland particularly takes the brunt of this criticism whenever the mainstream media bothers to even report it. Because that makes it nice and safe and far away from smiley Mr. Trudeau and his liberal, I'm a feminist kind of bullshit. The kind of feminist that sells weapons to Saudi Arabia to oppress women and commit genocide against Yemenis. So you can see what the point is here. Chrystia Freeland does all this to take the heat of it to preserve the image of the Prime Minister to the rest of the world because Canada is this big, shining example of not peacekeeping, not policing. Like that old beer commercial used to say that we had here.
I have a Prime Minister, not a President. I speak English and French, not American, and I pronounce it about, not a boot. I can proudly sew my country's flag on my backpack. I believe in peacekeeping, not policing. diversity, not assimilation, and that the beaver is a truly proud and noble animal.
But in the end, we're an imperialist power, a junior partner in imperialism, and still a country that marginalizes its indigenous First Nations population. So let this serve as an example, maybe smash some of the smugness that a lot of my fellow Canadians have, and a lot of that superiority that we love to push off onto other people, particularly Americans, because we's better than them kind of mentality. That in many ways, we are just as big a bunch of scumbags.
Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.